Number 4, he suffered from poor health. This was not a healthy guy. His temper, his rage, his deafness, his impatience all led him down a path toward depression, and he suffered greatly from it. It's no secret that he contemplated suicide, and on top of that, our friend Ludwig had severe stomach cramps, indigestion problems, and frequent headaches. Number 3, he was a disaster. Beethoven was crazy messy. His own friends called his apartment the most disorderly place imaginable. They said they'd walk in, find last night's dinner all over the place, as well as filled chamber pots and ink smudges all over the desk and all over the piano. Beethoven himself was a disaster, and very often his clothes were so dirty and so old and torn that his friends would just go out and buy him a new wardrobe. Number 2, he always fell for unavailable women. Beethoven's love life is full of stories that make you want to cringe just a little bit. He hardly had any relations with single women. It's just a fact. Beethoven made himself welcome in the aristocratic circles and then took full advantage of that in order to get to know the duchesses and the countesses in a very intimate way. Maids and cleaning ladies were also subject to his temper and his bad attitude. It's just really unfortunate. Number 1, he never heard the Ninth Symphony. When his Ninth Symphony premiered in 1824, Beethoven had been completely deaf for 7 years. He hadn't heard a single note of music. Despite this, he was absolutely insistent on conducting the piece himself. But the reports say that his conducting was less than reliable, and so he got a few measures off from the performers. And by the time the end of the piece came, when the music stopped, Beethoven continued to conduct. In the meantime, the audience burst into this wild applause, and it took one of the performers to physically turn him around and to show him the reaction his piece was receiving, and that despite being deaf for the complete compositional process, he still managed to win the adoration of the audience.